everyone. Welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Valmore. Today, we're taking a journey into a land covered in darkness and hopelessness. But if you're there, you might as well have yourself some dessert. This is Barovian Butterscotch Pudding. Let's get started. So I'm going to take some milk and add in some cream. And then I'm just going to quickly whisk those together. Now I'm going to separate some eggs. And now to the egg yolks, I'm going to add some cornstarch. Now I'm going to put in just a little bit of the cream mixture. And I'm just going to whisk that together until it's uniform. So now into the saucepan, I'm going to add some butter, some brown sugar, salt, corn syrup, and lemon juice. I'm going to melt the butter and combine everything together. While I'm stirring this together, I realized I also forgot to add some water, so I added that in as well. And I'm just going to bring this to a boil and then lower the temperature and let it caramelize. Barovia is home to Strahd von Zarovich, said to be the first vampire, cursed for his dark deeds to never be able to leave Barovia. Unfortunately for the citizens of the land, they are also burdened by this curse. This has left many of the people hopeless, that they'll never leave and they're just stuck in this endless cycle. The town of Vallaki is said to be free of the evils of Strahd, and the people here do not appear to be as depressed as other citizens around the land. Perhaps this false sense of hope is why they created this dessert in the first place. A small glimmer of happiness in this cursed land. Now that I've gotten to the right temperature, I'm going to add in some of the cream mixture. Now when you're doing this, you want to be careful because, well, it's going to sputter, it may spit at you, so just very slowly. And I'm going to whisk it together. And now that that's come together, I'm going to add in the rest of the cream mixture slowly while whisking. Now, after bringing the caramel mixture up to a simmer, I'm going to add some of it into the egg mixture and whisk while I do it. And now I'm going to add that egg mixture back into the pan. I'm just going to whisk that around for a little bit and let it all get incorporated. Now that that's cooked up, I'm going to add in the vanilla. And the recipe calls for either Scotch or Irish whiskey, and well, I always have Irish whiskey on hand, so I'm going to add in some of that. I'm just going to get that stirred to incorporate. And now I'm going to pour it through a strainer into a bowl. Now I'm going to cover it with some parchment paper, and I'm going to refrigerate it for at least 4 hours to let it cool and thicken up a bit. So this is probably the most technical recipe in the whole book. Homemade caramel can be a very daunting recipe because it can go from delicious to catastrophe in the blink of an eye. So if you're going to make this, I would really suggest having the cream and the egg mixtures ready to go before anything gets on the stove. because those moments there can very quickly change how the recipe turns out. And I really think you should make it. I know it's scary, the whole aspect of it. The making of pudding was interesting to me. I loved it though. And it can be very scary, but this recipe is really good, and the consistency is exactly what you want with pudding. Made a little bit of homemade whipped cream on top and just brought the whole thing together. I hope you enjoy. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at chef_Velmore. The links are in the description of the video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and come back next week for another recipe.